LFA 162 preliminary fights are live. Let's get the action rolling in the welterweight division. A matchup between Francisco Ataliba and Michael Oliveira. Tail of the tape powered by the Quantic Hub. Ataliba is 32 years old and Oliveira is 7 years younger. Both athletes stand 6 feet tall. Ataliba weighed in 2 pounds lighter and will have a slight reach advantage. Ron Kruk and Max Score is with you from Cajamar, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Let's get the action rolling now. And here's our ring announcer for tonight, Leonardo Lavetti.
This fight is scheduled 3 5-minute round in the LFA welterweight division. And it's brought to you by Prime Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Pool Corner. This fighter is a kickboxer. He stands 6 feet 0 inches tall and weighs in at 171 pounds. He holds an undefeated professional record of 4 wins, all by knockout. Representing KO Squad and fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, please welcome Michael Pequete Oliveira. And standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, this fighter is a jiu-jitsu specialist. He stands 6 feet 0 inches tall and weighs in at 169.8 pounds. He has 3 fights with 2 wins and 1 knockout, representing Power Lacho's team. And fighting out of Sao Paulo is Francisco Ataliba. The referee in charge of the bout is Julio Catarino.
LFA, a welterweight action. Michael Oliveira is the 5-1 favorite. Francisco Ataliba plus 375. And they go at it right away, Max.
Oliveira is undefeated, like you said, Ron. His nickname, PQD, PQD, translates into Brazilian Army paratrooper. So he's got the discipline.
Amazing.
He's a very, very vicious striker. He has no mercy with his opponents. And Ataliba just showed us what his game plan is. He doesn't want to risk standing and trading punches with a dangerous man like Oliveira. He took a jab early in this round, and now he's closing in that distance and trying to work off the cage.
Yeah, currently serving in the military as a paratrooper and a spotless 4-0 record, Michael Oliveira, fighting out of Rio. On the flip side, Francisco Ataliba, 2-1, making his LFA debut. Another chapter in the classic Rio versus Sao Paulo rivalry.
That's a rivalry that's been going on for decades. If you're a Brazilian or if you've lived in Brazil, you know that Rio versus Sao Paulo is fierce. Like, these guys, they want to take this victory home. Ataliba is fighting, in his hometown in Sao Paulo. Michael Oliveira flew all the way in from Rio. And even though Ataliba has the reach advantage, he wants that ground game. He's known for having very technical and aggressive jiu-jitsu. But to get there, Ron, he's going to have to take this man down first. Oliveira has really, really good takedown defense. And
he is sprawling and working off that, fending off that takedown attempt by Ataliba. And now the fighters will reset in the center of the octagon. Ataliba with the red tape. Oliveira's got the blue. Front kick from Ataliba. Low kick delivered by Oliveira. Oliveira 2-0 inside the LFA octagon.
Oliveira was the kind of fighter in the beginning that he was so aggressive that he would walk forward and he had just wanted to knock the guy's head off. So he didn't have the calm and the patience to work his technique. After he started training in his current camp now, that he's been, ever since he debuted in the LFA, that's where he's been in Rio with his fight camp, Champions Factory. He's become a
and Oliveira caught Ataliba, dropped him. That's the power Max was just talking about. 4 victories, 4 wins by way of knockout. And he smells blood early here in the first round.
you can see how calm he is. He let his opponent get back up. He controlled his breathing, has his guard up, and he's picking his shots once again.
Already his third fight of the year. Looking to stay undefeated and his 100% finishing rate intact. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the opening frame. LFA 162 preliminary action. Glad you could be a part of the action on Facebook and YouTube. If you're just joining us, all LFA events, the prelims do stream on the @LFA Fighting YouTube and Facebook page.
Ataliba just got dropped. He knows that the only way for him to get his arm raised in this fight is taking Michael Oliveira down. That's where he has the chance. That's where he has the expertise and that edge over Michael. If that doesn't happen, it's dangerous for him to stand.
Ataliba, the brown belt in BJJ, has one victory by way of knockout, one submission. Scored an anaconda choke. That's a dangerous range to be standing in with Michael Oliveira.
Everything's against him right now because he has to close the distance in order to take Michael down.
Yeah.
But Michael is controlling that distance. Every time Ataliba closes in, Michael is throwing that jab, he's throwing that cross, and it's landing. And every punch that lands, you see in Ataliba's face that it's hurting him. It's hitting so hard that it's kind of hard for him to get back in his position, see what he does next.
And I wouldn't be throwing too many of those lazy low kicks with your hands down when you're going against a knockout specialist in Michael Oliveira. Big favorite coming in. And we have got to the point, this is the longest fight of Michael Oliveira's career. He had 4 first-round finishes. He's looking for another one. He got it! Over and out. Michael Oliveira picks up his 5th first-round finish.
He said it, Ron. He can't stand with Michael like that. He's a dangerous striker, and he's learned over the course of the past couple of months how to control that aggression. It's controlled violence. Every punch he lands, he's gonna make sure that you feel it and that you regret standing there and not moving your head. Unfortunately, Ataliba had no weapons to be able to move his head, to bob and weave, create angles, and close that distance to take him down. Michael Oliveira continues perfectly now, 5-0 in his career. The paratrooper is good to go.
Man, very impressive performance as we take a look at how this fight began and then ended. There was the takedown defense, and you mentioned the power and the impressive takedown defense from Oliveira.
You can see that every hand that Oliveira lands, Ataliba felt it. You can see in his facial expression.
Yes.
The hooks, the crosses, he closed the distance down. He's gonna go for that finish. Through that kick, he knew Ataliba was feeling it. It was just a matter of putting that hand in the right time. That cross went in, doubled up that cross with that hook uppercut. Then he knew all he had to do was swarm, rain down punches. The ref was right there. There he is, saluting the crowd, as a good paratrooper.
And I'm sure saluting his military servicemen and women. The discipline showed by the paratrooper. Michael Oliveira was very impressive. You mentioned how he took his time, the patience, and really just worked his way in and saw his opening and ended this fight. All right, let's get the official time. And here is Leonardo Lavetti.
Referee Catarino has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes and 48 seconds of round number 1, declaring the winner by TKO, Michael Oliveira.
Fifth first round finish and 5th win in a row. Michael Oliveira is now a spotless 5-0, 3-0 inside the LFA Octagon. There he is with the KO squad, his teammates, and this is definitely a welterweight match to keep an eye on.
What I think is he heard you saying that was the longest fight in his career. He didn't like that too much. He's like, I gotta wrap
well
this
said.
up. I gotta prove Ron wrong. And hey, another first round finish. You know, another quick finish.
It was on cue. I was impressed. And yeah, he smelt blood and he was able to finish it. Great way to kick off the LFA 162 preliminary fights here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The women's interim strawweight title is up for grab when undefeated Rose Conceição is looking for her 7th straight victory when she faces Elaine Lopez, the black belt in Muay Thai and kickboxing. That is the LFA 162 main event.
Eu sou Rose Conceição, tenho 26 anos, sou do Nordeste, de Natal, e sou da equipe Ricari. Eu vim de uma família de mulheres que não tiveram tantas oportunidades. A maioria não são nem alfabetizadas.
Meu nome é Elaine Lopes, tenho 29 anos. Atualmente moro no Rio de Janeiro, mas sou de Piracicaba, São Paulo. Na verdade, eu comecei no Muay Thai aos 13 anos, mas aí, quando eu comecei a competir kickbox, eu vi que era aquilo que eu gostava, e aí eu me aprofundei mais e virou minha especialidade.
O wrestling ele foi o ponto de partida nessa mudança, né? Na verdade, um divisor de águas, porque fez com que eu tivesse um estudo melhor. Eu sou a primeira pessoa a se formar na minha família, a ter um curso superior, através de wrestling, que eu sou atleta universitária.
Já tinha concretizado cinturões, já tinha disputado WGP. Falei, aonde mais eu posso chegar? Aí eu falei assim, não, eu preciso de algo que me motive mais. E aí veio o MMA, a proposta de treinar MMA, que pra mim foi o motivo que eu precisava, sabe? Aquela gana. Tipo assim, eu preciso aprender o chão, preciso aprender o wrestling e eu gosto desse desafio.
Eu sempre falo, eu sou uma, mas eu não sou só. Então, hoje eu vou estar representando todo o povo nordestino que saiu dos seus interiores em busca de algo maior e melhor na cidade grande como São Paulo. Essas são minhas raízes e eu tenho muito orgulho delas.
Eu tô com 29 anos e tô com vontade de parar. E essa luta define muito minha carreira. Ou vai ou racha.
Sempre que eu me preparo bem para algo, eu me sinto muito confortável. Eu me torno um perigo quando eu me preparo para aquilo. E eu me preparei muito.
The interim strawweight title on the line in our main event. That is because current champion Julia Pilastri will be fighting on Dana White's Contender Series later this summer. This is going to be a fun matchup, Max, no doubt about it. Maybe another chapter in the classic grappler versus striker matchup, but you know, that isn't a given because the grappler, Rose Conceição, she told us she's been working on her striking and she may choose to stand and bang with the very dangerous black belt in Muay Thai and kickboxing, Elaine Lopez.
It's on paper, it's a striker versus grappler, but it's literally only on paper because when we take a closer look at this fight, Rose Conceição, even though she's got a huge wrestling background, she is a vicious striker. She knows how to move her head. You can see that was her fight in Recife. 10,000 fans, the biggest fan base that we've had in LFA history, and she put on a show. A clinic, heavy hips, trying to stay on top, vicious ground and pound. Of course, crisp, clean takedowns, and showed how much her hands have been worked on with her team. There we have Elaine Lopez, kickboxing background, that classic combination of hand finishing up with those kicks. Went through a vicious war with Die Monster at this LFA. That was one of the first ones that we did in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
What a battle.
And she's, like she said, this is sink or swim for her. She's 29 years old. And when the fighter comes in with that mentality, they want to leave every drop of grit and will that they have inside that cage to take that victory.
Broke her jaw in that fight and still battled into the second round. Unbelievable. If you haven't signed up yet, get to UFCFightPass.com. You will not want to miss this LFA 162 main event. Preliminary action rolls on. And we move to the lightweight division. The tail of the tape presented by Volvo AutoStar. Thiago Ivan, 32 years old, a decade older than 22-year-old prospect Gabriel Costa. The taller fighter is Costa. Both fighters tip the scales at 155, and it's Ivan with the 1-inch reach advantage. Ron Crook and Max Suarez with you tonight. Let's go back inside the LFA octagon. Here's ring announcer Leonardo Levente.
This fight is scheduled for 3 5-minute round in the LFA lightweight division and is brought to you by Volvo AutoStar. Introducing the one who fights in the blue corner. This fighter is a striker. He stands 6 feet 0 inches tall and weighs in at 155.8 pounds. He holds an undefeated professional record of 7 wins, including 3 knockouts, representing Keon Squad and fighting out of Recreio, Rio de Janeiro. Please welcome Gabriel. And standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This fighter is a boxer and a jiu-jitsu specialist. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighs in at 155.8 pounds. He has had even 9 fights with 7 wins and 5 knockouts, representing Carioca Academy and fighting out of Manaus, Amazonas, Thiago The referee in charge of the bout is Fernando Portela.
Lightweight action in the LFA. Thiago Ivan is the underdog, plus 375 according to Bet Online. And Gabriel Costa, a massive 5-1 favorite, comes in with a spotless 7-0 record, Max. 2-0 inside the LFA octagon. Thiago Ivan, a solid 7-2.
Yeah, Costa coming out of the same fight camp as the man we just saw with the brutal first-round knockout, Michael Oliveira. They're training partners. They're both undefeated, coming out of Champions Factory in Rio de Janeiro. And immediately, Costa closing in that distance. He is a striker by essence, and that's his way to win this fight. The other side, Ivan has to try to neutralize that striking, go for his own power hand, and take this fight to the ground. That's what he's trying to do immediately. He knows that.
Great call. Clinch up and throws some knees as well. Costa already 7-0 as a pro, only 22 years old, 85% finishing rate, 3 knockouts and 3 submissions. Ooh, nice kick to the ribs. Now he goes upstairs.
He feinted well that body kick, then coming up with that same leg up high. He's good at throwing punches. He's also good at bobbing, weaving, and throwing that strong right hand. That's what he just did. He's got those heavy hips.
Ivan, sorry, Max, out swinging wildly as he came in. Gets back up on his feet. Eats a knee for his trouble.
Gabriel Costa, you know, the one in the blue tape and pinkish hair, dyed hair, I'd say.
Pink, sure.
Yeah, a little pink. See, this kid is born and raised in the favelas of Brazil, so he's seen the worst of things. He's been through the toughest of times in his life, and now he's found himself as an MMA fighter. The MMA actually helped him keep himself out of trouble.
That's so well put. Said he is willing to kill and die for my dream of fighting in MMA, and he's opened up a cut, looks like under the eye of Thiago Ivan. His power on display. What a combination. Landing and finding its target now.
That's what Costa has to do. Back Ivan up to the cage. He doesn't move laterally very well, and just left, right uppercuts. That cut was due to, I believe, a right elbow that he connected very well. Ivan has to move laterally. If he doesn't stop putting himself on that cage, he's going to be in deep trouble.
Dangerous spot to be, for sure, for the knockout special. Oh! Ivan lands and drops Costa. with under 3 minutes to go. What a shot by the 32-year-old Ivan, dropping Costa.
I did not expect that to happen.
Out of nowhere. And now Costa attacking the leg, looking for a heel hook.
Ivan threw that right hand right on the money. Costa did not see that coming. Ivan being from the ground, Costa did not expect him to throw too many punches. That right hand landed beautifully. Now we got a little battle going there to see who takes whose ankle home.
Right.
Ivan doesn't seem to know what to do with Costa's foot.
Oh, it looked like he was grabbing the toes at one point.
Yeah, he's looking for that toe hold, little Kimura on that foot. Costa tried. He has to move in a little bit more to get that leg.
Gabriel Costa, 3 victories via submission, 2 by rear naked choke, and 1 by heel hook. So this is a spot he knows very well. Has ended a fight before with that submission technique.
You see Costa smiling there, still looking for that, but he's got to adjust. That's not a good position for him to go for that heel hook. He's got to move the hips a little bit more to the side, get a good angle. Ivan was good at understanding that Gabriel Costa was going to try to move up. Immediately moved up as well. Now he's in that strong position. Costa has to move. He's got to come back to his feet. That's where he's the most dangerous.
Thiago Ivan landing some hammer fists, quick, short, sharp shots, and with a minute to go, has plenty of time to operate from this position. Inside the guard of Gabriel Costa, came in as a 5-1 favorite.
You got to remember also that it's a 10-year difference between Ivan and Costa.
Right.
That does come into play in situations like this. He got the knockdown, he was on top, and he's trying to take good advantage of that. He's got a little over 40 seconds left in this initial round, and he's doing a good job at keeping that pressure up top.
As my old broadcast partner Pat Milicic used to say, use your man strength when you're 32 years old going up against a 22-year-old young gun. And the clock a little bit off. We'll get it set here, but we heard the hammer, and time is winding down here in the first. Wow, what a back and forth opening round. Gabriel Costa was in control. Looked like he had Thiago Ivan hurt. And then Ivan dropped the hammer and dropped Costa. Hard round to score.
Yeah, we can see the beginning of the round. Gabriel Costa immediately took that advantage. Was more aggressive, landed a couple of good punches. Good elbow that cut Ivan open in the beginning of the first round. But then Ivan came back with that strong left hand, dropped Gabriel Costa, and maintained that top position. Even though Gabriel Costa was going for that ankle lock, he wasn't too efficient at finding that right angle. Depending on how the judges saw this, Ivan might have gotten that turnaround in that first round due to being more aggressive and inflicting more damage to Gabriel with that knockdown.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call because Gabriel Costa definitely had Thiago Ivan rocked, did some damage himself. But I could easily see what you're saying to give that round to Ivan after he really had Costa in trouble, and then finished strong as well.
Yeah, it really depends on how the judges saw it, on what they judged to be more damage and more danger. We have a sec.
Yeah, round number 2 underway, Max. LFA 162 preliminary action on YouTube and Facebook. Got a great card tonight, so switch over at 9 p.m. Eastern to UFC Fight Pass, and if you haven't yet, sign up at UFCFightPass.com. Again, this is a dangerous spot, playing with fire for Thiago Ivan to be with his back up against the cage wall.
Talking about that
space now.
Talking about that first round again, I believe Ivan, he could have taken that chance a little bit better. He's not going to get, it's going to be hard for him to get another left hand like that on Costa now that he's aware that that can happen. He did what he could, but now he's got to restart in the second round. He's got to look for that same power punch because he already saw that Costa moves those hands down a little bit when he's moving backwards, and he might get caught again. but immediately Costa is starting off this second just like he started the first, putting Ivan's back on the cage and not letting him move around laterally, cutting those angles.
And that'll slow him down a little bit. A nice kick to the ribs from Ivan.
Good check there by Costa. I mean, you can only take so many of those checks. I mean, your shin starts swelling up, start getting difficult to move.
Especially when you hear that check inside the arena. You know that's going to leave a mark.
I got to say, Ivan doesn't seem too tired. Even though he did put in that work in the end of the first round. He got caught a couple of times in the beginning of the first, and Gabriel Costa still going for it.
Big shots now and a nice counter from Ivan, but Costa teeing off. Ivan looking for a takedown.
Going for that arm triangle. He's got to move to the side, switching up hand in hand, trying to put Ivan's head down so he can get a better fit. Very intelligent. And I got to say, Ron, not a lot of fighters use that knee to the body right there. It's very efficient.
Well, and those shots, I think, opened up that cut even more. In the face of Thiago Ivan. Blood streaming down his face and trickling onto the mat.
Gabriel has to understand that it's a dangerous position. He's got to lock those legs up or try to move up and move out of that position. He needs to scoot his hips to the left or step over Ivan's head. That's exactly what he did, moving to the left. If he keeps moving, he'll pass guard, he'll be in a good position. He's got to stay dangerous, like you said. Pointed out, you see that blood trickling off of Ivan's face. And if he can capitalize on that, he's got 2 minutes, he can still win this fight.
Looking to drop some bombs with under 2 minutes to go. 22-year-old Gabriel Costa, 2-0 in the LFA Octagon, representing the KO squad. We saw his teammate Michael Oliveira score a beautiful knockout in our opening bout of the evening. Looking to go 2-0 for the KO squad.
Ivan trying to scoot his hips out, trying to shrimp away. Costa doing a good job of following his opponent's hips and always trying to stay close so he doesn't lose that top position. He's using that right hand very well. He's using his head to control his opponent's head movement, making sure that he's positioning his opponent's head right where he wants it, went straight to the mount. Now he can transition either to the mount or stay in that half guard because he's got 1 minute left, and this can be a good position for him.
Got to the mount briefly. And now Thiago Ivan is just a bloody mess. Looks like the blood's just pooling up in his eyes. Some elbows from Costa. This kid is dangerous, man, and has a nasty streak to him, too.
And when blood gets in your eye like that, Ron, I gotta tell you, it stings, it bothers you. It takes your mind off of the fight a lot of times. We're just happy that we have very good cut women here in the LFA to take care of that.
Referee has seen enough, and Gabriel Costa remains undefeated. And a tough night for Thiago Ivan. Costa celebrating with the crew outside of the octagon. I love it. The 22-year-old fighting out of Rio de Janeiro now. Johnny Cards is going to get him back in there. Well done, sir. But what a night for the young gun, Gabriel Costa. Let's check it out, Max.
That was, I believe, beginning of the second. Started off strong once again. He kept Ivan with his back against the cage. Even when the fight went to the ground, he stayed very efficiently up top. Position over submission. Used his head very well to position his opponent's head. And Ivan just couldn't take it anymore. And I gotta say, maybe it's because Jose Aldo was nominated into the Hall of Fame, and that was a way to honor him, because that just brought me back to UFC Rio when Jose Aldo knocked out Chad Mendes with that knee and flew into the stands and dumped himself into the crowd. Pretty cool scene there from Gabriel Costa.
Absolutely, a very emotional scene, and congratulations to the great Jose Aldo being recognized at International Fight Week today, inducted into the Hall of Fame, as well as Anderson Silva being recognized, the Nogueira brothers, a big night here in Brazil, but also a big night in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, as we get ready for the massive UFC 290 card tomorrow night. Let's now get the official decision.
Referee Portela has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes and 30 seconds of round number 2, declaring the winner by TKO, Gabriel Pitbull!
And the party moves from Rio to here to Sao Paulo. Gabriel Costa, 8th straight victory, another finish. We mentioned his attitude, Max, of I'm willing to die for my dream in there. You could tell the future is very bright for this young man as he put on a performance taking out Thiago Ivan.
He brought the vibes, Ron. He brought the vibes. He brought the fight. Got knocked down in the first round. Was definitely something surprising to him, I believe. And came back in the second round, strong, recomposed during that 1 minute he had. He was on a mission. He didn't stop until Ivan said he couldn't take it anymore. Like we said before during this fight, Gabriel Costa is a kid that was born and raised in the favelas. Had to run away from drug lords and having to deal with weapons and killings and trafficking and all of that with fighting. He used MMA to become a better guy.
Gabriel Costa has put the LFA lightweight division on official notice. The LFA 162 preliminary stream rolls on after this.
Wrestler to ever step foot in the octagon.
Let's
There was
welcome
Mark,
to
but
the
there was
cage.
also his
Find
brother
it-
Dave. As brothers to both win gold medals, they were rock stars. So John E. DuPont of the DuPont family decides he wants to get into wrestling. He had a farm that he called Foxcatcher.
Yeah, a lot of bad stuff happened, you know. And Dave told DuPont he was going to leave Foxcatcher after the next Olympics. John DuPont pulled up to Dave's house, pulled out a gun, and shot him. John DuPont took my happiness from me.
UFC 9, Mark Schultz replaces Dave Benito, who broke his right hand in training.
He had some rage with a good healthy dose of revenge in there. Like, I think he wanted blood.
I had that opportunity at UFC 9 to get my happiness back. And there was nothing you could do to stop me.
LFA 162, the action continues here from Cajamar, Sao Paulo, Brazil. We check out the rest of the card, and it's a good one. The opening fight of the night, that's going to be a train wreck. Rafael Tobias and Miguel Oporto. The women get the spotlight in the second fight of the night. Some great matchups, a key lightweight bout between undefeated Jefferson Nascimento. He's going for his 10th straight victory. And the tough Italo Gomez has 7 career victories via submission. And wow, Wellington Prado and Marcio Barbosa clash. These two have combined for an incredible 21st round finishes, Max. I mean, you could choose anyone. These are going to be, all of them are going to be bangers, but give me your thoughts on maybe a fight of the night.
Like you said, Ron, it's hard to choose one. We open up with the light heavyweights, and these guys are willing to bring the fight. But I got to say, if I was to pick a fight of the night, I'd go with our co-main event, Wellington Prado versus Marcio Barbosa. Two guys that have identical records, very aggressive. Marcio Barbosa, I believe he's got 10 or 11 career knockouts. We saw him almost finish Gabriel Santos, that was our former featherweight champion that now figures in the UFC. Wellington Prado comes from shootbox Diego Lima and trains with guys like Charles Oliveira, Daniel Wildecat, Alan Puderoso, Mateus Bocão, he just has the human products and the human labor there for him. So that, to me, fight of the night, that lightweight bout co-main event, Wellington Prado versus Marcel Barbosa.
Yeah, very well could be. Should be a lot of fun. If you haven't already signed up at UFCFightPass.com, do so now. UFC Fight Pass is the exclusive home of the Legacy Fighting Alliance. And make sure you're following the LFA at LFA Fighting on all social media platforms. All preliminary action from the LFA airs on the LFA Facebook and YouTube page. Ron Kruk and Max Suarez with you. Here is our final LFA 162 prelim. We'll get to that. And here it is in the flyweight division, powered by a Fuel. We have Andre Lima and Igor Taylon. This is the matchup. Lima 24, Taylon 2 years older and 3 inches taller. Lima came in heavy, and he will have to forfeit a percentage of his pay to a Taylon. Great crowd as always here in Cajamar, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Glad you could be a part of the action on YouTube and Facebook. Now, let's get the official fighter introductions from Leonardo Lavetti.
So this fight is scheduled for a 3-5-minute round in the LFA flyweight division, and it is brought to you by UL, the Eyewear Company. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, this fighter is a karate specialist. His hands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighs in at 125.6 pounds. He holds a total of 7 wins, including 2 knockouts, representing Cerrado and MI, and fighting out of Brasilia, Distrito Federal. Please welcome Igor the Flash Taylor. And standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, this fighter is a striker. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighs in at 127 pounds. He holds an undefeated professional record of 5 wins, including 4 knockouts. Representing Team Lucas Mineiro, and find out of Guarulhos, São Paulo, he is Andre Mascotti. The referee in charge of the bout is João Cláudio Soares.
LFA, a flyweight division. A great matchup between 2 fighters making their LFA debuts. Igor Taylon will have the blue tape and Andre Lima the red tape. There's no question who the fans here in Cajamar are cheering for. That would be Andre Lima, fighting out of Sao Paulo. Comes in with a spotless 5-0 record, Max.
Yeah, Lima, like a lot of fighters and a lot of the not so wealthy people in Brazil that come from the northeastern region of Brazil, they come over to Sao Paulo. This is the state of opportunities for them. That's why his walk-in was so regional. He's using the regional song, he's using the regional outfits. Like you said, the crowd's behind him. His hometown is all here. He's based out of Sao Paulo for a long time now.
5 victories, 4 coming by way of knockout. Brown belt in BJJ 2, showing how well-rounded he is, but man, those are some fast hands.
And Igor Taylon doing his 10th career fight now as a pro, nicknamed The Flash. If you're nicknamed The Flash, you gotta be quick. So you gotta watch out for him. He's working well on the cage now. We saw Taylon throwing some heavy hands, which can be, Taylon and Lima, look at that judo throw. Straight to the back, and Taylon got back up very well, but Lima
And look at Igor Taylon. I mean, trying to get out of it, but Lima riding him like a backpack.
And we got that good old Brazilian chant. That's how you know we're in Brazil, Ron. We got the "U vai morrer," which translates to "Ooh, you're gonna die." You got a man, Lima, on your back. You got the crowd cheering you. You're gonna die. You better do something here.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in, no doubt about it. Taylon, black belt in karate. He's also a Brazilian national champion in wrestling and kickboxing.
And Lima doing a good job of putting his back on the cage. That takes a little bit of pressure off of his own ankle since he's got that figure four lock on Taylon's hip.
Hammer fist from the back from Andre Lima, who's attacking that neck now. I mean, he has been on the back of Igor Taylon for over a minute.
What a lot of fighters like to do is, the first thing Taylon's gonna do is put his chin down and make sure he doesn't expose that neck. What Lima is doing is what his corner just shouted out for him to do, is put your forearm on Taylon's nose and bring it up. That's so uncomfortable, Ron, that you end up exposing your neck, like it or not. There he is again, trying to bring that nose up. There he is. Look at Taylon's
Great call,
face.
Max. I mean, just pulling that nose straight up.
That's the way for him
and
to
then he'll
expose his
just
neck.
slip in that RNC.
He can go for a
Crank
crank.
in the neck now.
Dangerous position for Taylon here. There you go with the chance again.
Pulls him down. Taylon in a lot of trouble, but fends it off with 1:45 to go. Not out of trouble yet.
He was trying to go there for that transition, go straight to the mount with that arm in. I believe he was trying to switch his hands to get a cleaner rear naked choke, and Taylon was quicker and defended it. Now, Lima has to keep that distance close. He's got to keep that chin close to Taylon's head and keep working that hand. It went once, it will go again. And Taylon, on the other hand, he's got to work on fighting those hands and making sure that that arm's not going to sneak in.
Lima, 4 first-round finishes. He is working hard to get a 5th. Extremely busy fighter, 3rd fight of 2023. He fought in February and May, but tonight making his LFA debut.
Looks very comfortable in the cage, looks very comfortable on Taylon's back. I mean, 5-0, Ron, there's a reason why he's undefeated. Last fight was in R1, which was the day right after our last show here in Brazil. Going for that armbar now.
Man, very slick transition.
Taylon flipped over very well, though. He's got a little less than 30 seconds to work because up until now, he was completely dominated.
Final preliminary bout here at LFA 162. Had some great finishes already this evening. And we expect that trend to continue tonight on the main card. Man, as dominant of a first round as you can have. Andre Lima swarming Igor Taylon. And Igor really did not have an answer. Check out the highlights in the opening frame.
Yeah, Lima, right off the bat, very aggressive, looking for those power hands. Got to Taylon's back, used the cage to his advantage, started trying to crank that nose up so he can find that space until he eventually found it, arched his back, took Taylon to the ground, tried to switch hands. That's when Taylon flipped over. But that was most part of the round, even though Taylon flipped over in the last couple seconds. Clear round for Lima, 1 round for the athlete in the red tape.
No doubt about it. I mean, almost possibly a 10-8 round. If he had inflicted a little more damage, I would think there would be an argument there. But yeah, you're exactly right, Max. Andre Lima gets that first round easily.
I agree. If it wasn't for that flip over, it might have been even a 10-8 for how dominant he was. But Taylon flipped over. For me, it turned into a 10-9. Still took that round, 1 round up for Lima.
see what Igor Taylon can do here in the second round and what his team has put together to maybe slow down the attack of Andre Lima.
That was a good kick to the calf there by Taylon. Look at that body shot that Lima just threw. Very, very conscious. Now he knows that Taylon's going to want to work on those legs since he caught one of them. He's got to stay standing, work down the pipe. And if he can get to the cage again, he knows that he can get his back and stay on it for a long time.
He proved that absolutely in the opening round. Sneaky little elbow as Taylon comes in and scores the takedown.
Very nice takedown by Taylon. Now, Taylon's going for that back now. He was trying to put one leg in, but he body locked him very well, took him down on the right time, threw him to the side. Now he's going for that submission.
No panic from the Flash, comes out in the second round, scores the takedown, and has an opportunity now score a submission.
So
great shot there.
The defense for Lima is either turning himself away and grabbing his right leg and trying to stretch it out and try to take that pressure off his neck, or answer that phone, kind of answering the phone with his right hand, which he was doing well. That's why he was able to withstand all that pressure.
Taylon now inside the guard of Lima. Credit Igor Taylon for turning the tables here in the second round.
I can hear Lima's coach yelling out, use the cage. That's exactly what he's doing. He's got to back himself up into the cage, so he's got another support to help him get back up. He'll have 2 feet or a hand, and then you'll have the cage to help him get back up.
I believe you. I'm going to depend on you for relaying the messages from the corner tonight, my man.
Thank you very much. I'm not Google Translate, but I'm Max Translator.
Yes, you are. Just under 3 minutes to go. Our final LFA, a 162 preliminary bout. 125-pound flyweight division and matchup between Taylon and Lima. Lima back up on his feet.
Taylon trying to sneak that hand in, that arm in that neck. But Lima knows what's going on. He already turned things around, got that body lock, took his head out. He's got a little less than half a round to work. But even though he was dominant in the first round, Ron, this second round, Taylon was able to impose his game a little bit more. But I do believe he's got to be more aggressive. Just leaving your body weight on an opponent on the cage isn't going to help him out. And now with his back on the mat, he's got 2 minutes to get back up and try to do something.
So Lima now scores the takedown and will work inside the guard. That was a solid elbow being delivered from the 24-year-old.
Let's see how Lima is going to work from up top now. If he's going to transition, if he's going to be position over submission, or if he's going to go for that submission. Let Taylon come back up.
Gets back up quickly. Nice level change there. And down goes Lima. And back to attacking the neck is Igor Taylon.
That was a good counter throw by Taylon. Lima was going to go for that same judo throw that he threw in the first round. Taylon countered that back, throwing him to his back. Beautiful. He's got one arm in and let him out.
Busy summer for the LFA. Make sure you are following us on all social media platforms at LFA Fighting for card updates, ticket information, and new episodes of Inside LFA. Under a minute to go, second round.
Taylon seems to have slowed down a bit. He threw a double leg. He almost sent an email saying that was coming, Ron. Lima was able to defend that very well. They're both clinched up. Taylon now has a little bit of an edge, but I believe Lima, with a little bit of effort, will be able to turn things around. Kind of looks like Taylon is a little bit more tired now.
A slow knee delivered by the Flash. I didn't think it was possible. 30 seconds to go. Lima looking to finish strong here in the second round.
That was a picture-perfect takedown at the right time. Final seconds of the second round. If he stays in this top position and works it well,
he can steal it.
Yeah.
Oh, those are big
he's taking
shots.
this round if it continues like this. Taylon is in a world of trouble.
Taylon's head bouncing off the
Might be
canvas.
the end, Ron.
They're not going to let this go much longer. And that is all. Andre Lima remains undefeated and puts an end to this fight as time was winding down in the second round, in a round that Igor Taylon looked very good early on, but Lima able to get it done.
That just shows his experience. He improves to 6-0, still undefeated. Very active kid, very conscious, has the heavy hands. He's got that brown belt that he walked in with earlier. Proved his brown belt BJJ essence. The kid was tough on the ground, took Taylon's back in the beginning of the first round, stayed there for a while, came back in the second, wasn't as dominant, but then was able to get that takedown the last 30 seconds of the second round and was just so aggressive, raining down those punches, those elbows. Our ref was right there, he saw it. He knew that Taylon wasn't gonna be able to continue. He got into that fetal position, and that's it. End of the day, end of the night for Taylon. One more victory for Lima.
Extremely impressive performance from the 24-year-old from Sao Paulo, Andre Lima. Comes in his third fight already of the year, but making his LFA debut tonight, and it's one to remember. Let's get the official time from ring announcer Leonardo Laventi.
Referee Suarez has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes and 59 seconds of round number 2, declaring the winner by TKO, Andre
finishes, you got them. 3 LFA 162 preliminary fights, 3 finishes, and smart man, the kid, Andre Lima, goes over and talks to the CEO of the LFA, Ed Suarez, and Max probably saying, hey, put me on the main card next time.
I would agree if he said that. I'd say he's right in saying that this kid's a show apart, and he's got a slingshot on his neck. That's a slingshot actually made of wood from the northeastern region of Brazil. We make those out of twigs or wood, and we put a piece of rubber on it, and that's how you hunt.
Heck yeah.
That's kind of what he did.
You can only get this insight from the man, Max Suarez, let me tell you, folks. Well, as I said, 3 bouts, 3 finishes, and we are expecting much more of the same on the LFA 162 main card. This is the time to get over to UFCFightPass.com. If you haven't signed up, Fight Pass is the official home for the Legacy Fighting Alliance. Action will get underway at the top of the hour. That's 6 Pacific. For my broadcast partner, Max Suarez, I'm Ron Kruk. Come join us over on UFC Fight Pass.